Hello and welcome to the Hellhounds Wilderness Slayer Guide updated for 2021 with the new Wilderness Slayer Cave. Please drop me a like and comment whether you enjoyed the video or not. I'm trying to make my guides as helpful as possible, so let me know what you liked or disliked about the video. And also check below for the timestamps in the description. Starting off, it's worth addressing that there are a few locations that you could be killing the Hellhounds in the wilderness. However, I only recommend killing them in the Slayer Cave, and that's because it is the safest and fastest place to kill them. And the whole time killing them on my last task, I did not run into any PKers. It doesn't seem like that much of a hotspot, though I can't guarantee that. So let's move on to how to get there. The quickest way to get there is using a burning amulet to the Chaos Temple, running northeast to the Slayer Cave, then you run all the way east once you're inside the Slayer Cave, and you want to go past the green dragons, and then you just run north a little bit and you'll be at the Hellhounds. And it's also worth noting that when you run past the green dragons, you want to protect from magic. Regarding the gear that you should wear, let's first address armor. Since we'll be using a prayer-based approach to killing them, it's recommended that you use either proselyte or monk's robes to boost your prayer bonus. And additionally, you want to be using other prayer boosting items that you have. Another thing worth mentioning is that you definitely want damage boosting gear, so obviously wear your best armor that will give you the best attack and strength bonuses. And definitely, since you'll be on task, do not forget your Slayer helm. Addressing weapons, the Hellhounds have no weakness, so you really just want to use your best or your favorite melee weapon. You could also use range or mage, but that's not necessarily recommended. And if you really wanted to go crazy, you could bring a charged Vigorous chain mace and get some really insane experience rates. Moving on to inventory, there are quite a few things that you want to remember. First of all, I really recommend bringing a cannon and cannonballs. This will speed up your task a ton. Next, you may want to bring a special weapon. This will slightly increase your kills per hour, and you could use it to annoy a PKer. If someone were to attack you, you could use a DDS, for example, and maybe poison them or get a lucky kill. Next, you'll want Ceredomin Brews and Super Restores for combo eating. This is in case you get attacked. These are really great for helping you survive. The next thing you'll want is a Royal Seed Pod or a one-click teleport, something like a teleport home or a home teleport. The Hellhounds are just above level 20 Wilderness, so you can get away with a lower level teleport. Next, you will not need a looting bag, since Hellhounds really drop nothing other than bones, keys, and the very rare smoldering stone. Next, you'll want prayer potions. I always recommend bringing about 5 to 10, and this will depend depending on your gear and your prayer level, how many you'll want to bring. The next thing you'll want is a burning amulet. This is just to get us to the Hellhounds. Next, you have an optional stamina potion. I did not need it, but it is always convenient to have in case you are low on energy and you don't realize it, or if you're trying to run away from PKers, for example. Lastly, you'll want to fill the rest of your inventory with good food. You are in a multi-combat zone, and it is always possible that a team comes and attacks you. Moving on to how to kill them. As I mentioned earlier, we are using a prayer-based approach, so we are going to be using Protect from Melee. The next thing worth mentioning is that you want to be using combat potions, so I recommend bringing a super combat potion, or at the very least a regular combat potion, and also using Preserve to make sure you get those bonuses for as long as possible. Next, I recommend using melee, as I already mentioned, but you could be using magic or range, and again, you're just going to be protecting from melee. Next, you'll want to make sure you bring a cannon, and while you're killing them, I recommend making a deliberate effort to get the double hits, because the Hellhounds are fairly strong and this task might take you a while if you're not making the most of your cannon. Lastly, it is worth mentioning that there is a range and mage safe spot, but this is so far out of the way, and it's also way higher up in the wilderness compared to just being above level 20 that I don't really recommend it, but in case you are interested, it is north of the main location for killing them. So that actually wraps up the guide. Even though this is a multi-zone and it might feel like a PK hotspot, it's still safer than the location in level 50 Wilderness way up there. So I also recommend this as the safe option. The reason I mention that is because in a lot of my guides I always mention the safest way to kill them since it is in the wilderness, but I really recommend just killing them here since you can easily teleport out. So that is going to wrap it up. If you like these guides, the best way to show your support is to like and subscribe. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, let me know in the comments if you have suggestions for improvements. Thanks for watching and have a great day.